We're going to show you the easy way to put down posts without concrete and still be compliant.
What are you doing down there?
I apologize, I just couldn't help myself. In this video, we're going to show you how to put down these posts without concrete, and it's just as strong and compliant. What I mean by compliant is that it has been rated for structural use in Canada and the United States. Let's face it, mixing concrete is not fun. We're putting in our permanent meter base for our barn and our RV over at our property. And we don't have our well dug yet, and everything is behind the, backed up, so it's really hard to get things done. I ran across this product called Fast2K. It says it's made for deck post anchors and fences, and then I got to looking into it, and it's made for more. It has a lot of attributes, and it's recently been rated for construction and structure in the United States and Canada. And if you're not familiar with this, the power companies have been using it on utility poles for years. First thing we did was we dug a clean bottom hole. And what I mean by clean bottom hole is I stopped the PTO shaft while it was down inside the hole and then picked it up, pulling all the dirt out. So I left very little dirt in the bottom. If you want to get crazy with it, you can go ahead and use a manual post hole digger and really clean out the very bottom of it. Read the directions good on this. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to set once you pour it in the hole. So make sure that you're ready to do it when you do it.
You gotta go and lay down your belly to get it out now.
Dang it, boy, I couldn't do that no better.
Here, I'll get it. I'm already dirty.
You ain't recording this, are you?
Yes, I am. All the structure.
I got bad knees, guys. She volunteered too.
I stay in the doghouse a pretty good bit.
Thank you.
I do want to point out that they make several different versions of this foam stuff, so you need to make sure that you get the right one that meets the requirements. Let me say some legal disclaimer stuff. You guys are responsible for doing your own research. I cannot positively tell you that this is legal for use in every circumstance in every community, so that will be your responsibility. Now we got that out of the way. This is a two-part epoxy. You pull that little black piece off the middle and then you mix it around. And it says to mix it about 30 to 40 seconds. I think it says 30 seconds on the package. And then you want to tear that top off pretty quick after that because it'll start swelling up pretty quick. And I had a buddy tell me that he had one explode. It was not pretty. So let me talk about the attributes of this stuff. The fact that it sets up in 3 to 5 minutes and you can start working around it is obvious. That's just the obvious one. And it fully cures in about 24 hours. Another attribute is the fact that it actually seals up around the post that you're put in, and it makes a waterproof barrier. And this is really making me reconsider putting our wood post in the ground for our pole barn. I think I'm really going to do it this way. There have been some foams in the past that have shrunk, but this one's guaranteed not to shrink. And like I said, this is the same formula that the power companies have used on power poles for years. So I'm going to get down into the physics a little bit. I've done a little bit of research on this. As I poured the first one in the hole, it starts expanding and it actually pushes out and permeates the soil. So it literally goes into the soil and makes the soil become part of this construct. I'm having to use some big words here and it's hurting my head, but y'all bear with me. So it boils down to pounds per square inch. This stuff, as you put it in the hole, it starts expanding out and it actually permeates the soil. It pushes out into the soil and makes the soil part of the post, and the other part glues itself to the post. And there's actually some videos out there where people have put these wood posts in the ground, like 4x4 posts, and then try to use a lifting device to pull the post out of the ground, and it sheared the post off instead of pulling it out of the ground. That's pretty impressive. So each bag of this is equivalent to an 80-pound bag, but I went ahead and put 2 bags in it, and I wanted it filled all the way to the top. And let me tell you, after about 10 minutes, there was no moving this post. It was solid, and I can only imagine after it sets a week, how everything hardens up. It's just pretty amazing stuff. I will go ahead and cover the top of it up with dirt. It says it's UV resistant, but I don't see any reason not to go ahead and cover that top part up. I'm going to mound a little bit of dirt up over it when my job is complete. I still have to dig the underground trench to the power pole from this location. So this is just the first step. All that other is coming in the video soon. I showed this in another video prior where I stopped the PTO and then got off the tractor and knocked the dirt away. And then I just pick the auger straight up out of the hole, and that keeps the dirt from falling back in. It's just a neat way of having a real clean hole. I believe I am going to use this stuff on my pole barn poles. What you guys' thoughts? And give me your opinions in the comment section below. Do you trust this? I know that, like I said, the power companies have been using it on utility poles for years, and they're pretty daggum solid. Everything I see about this product, it tells me that it's good, and it's all the attributes outweighs concrete. Concrete's going to crack. It's going to keep the post moist all the time, and concrete encourages rust. And let's just face it, treated lumber is not as resistant to rot as it once was. The EPA, I understand, making it safer for the environment, but that does have some consequences. So here I'm taking this for whatever reason, that one was tough to get apart. I used my Leatherman to get that apart, that little clip off of it. I think now that I've done some research on opening it, there's actually, you just pull it apart real fast and it pops the little black clip off. But hey, I didn't know that at the time because, you know me, I probably didn't read the directions all the way through. There's some things here that I didn't show, and I didn't think to film it, but you really want to put a little bit of that stuff around the top of your post. That makes it, you basically pour it on the post around. So I'll use some of the leftovers, and we didn't actually film that, but it actually causes it to bond to the post and start expanding outwards. Just a little tidbit there. So if you're not familiar with using metal posts, now you have to have a cap on the top of them. If not, when it rains, water will fill those posts up, and when it freezes, it will bust the post. There's nothing you can do about that. So you have to have a post cap on the top of your post. And that is also why you see people put little metal covers over fence posts, wood fence posts, because the rain will get down into the end of the pores of the post, and as it freezes, it splits, and it just does. It takes a little bit over time, a little bit more, and then over time the post starts splitting. You can see here I was trying to swing it up on the side of the post. I'm really not doing a good job filming it, but that's what I was trying to do. Tanya put the little action camera down here so you could watch the foam expand, and it still is foam, and it looks familiar like the insulation foam, but this stuff is tough. Once it gets hard, I mean, it's some tough stuff. So what we did here is we just cut these unirails, I believe is what they call them. They're quick connect unirails. We have the actual adapters that makes them hook onto the post. Pretty easy to do this. Now we just cut them in 5-foot lengths, and we're just mounting up temporarily. As of the time of making this video, we still have not got our meter base. It's still on back order. So like I said, I just went ahead and cut them in 5-foot lengths, and I'm just mounting them up here just to get them off the ground. And then whenever my boxes come in, I'll go ahead and mount the boxes, and then I have to dig my trench from the meter base all the way to the pole, because we're doing everything underground. We don't want anything above ground. You can see here that these posts have been in the ground about 15 minutes by now. And there literally there's virtually no play at all. And you can just see here how solid it is. Even if it was in hardened concrete, you would get this amount of shake. So first impressions, this is really cool stuff. And you can see at the bottom again, like I said, I'm going to pull the dirt up around the post and cover that foam up. Even though it's UV resistant, I don't see a need in it. I mean, the other option I could do is just paint it, but I think just pulling the dirt over it will be fine. Hey, you guys stay tuned here. I got a little time lapse here of us putting the rest of this together. I think it's pretty neat, and you can kind of see a little better understanding of what we're doing. So this is the finished product, and we're waiting on our parts. My girl's a dedicated camera person. She's gonna find a way to get the shot.